Hello again, my lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. And this is the last chapter I will be podficking for Avatar: The Legend of Percy. There is a chapter 39 on AO3, but that is simply a Q&A made by WardofWinters. If you want to know what they were writing about, go click the link in the description and check it out. There will be more of Avatar: The Legends of Percy. This is just the end of Trial by Fire. So grab yourself some hydration, grab yourself some snackation, and grab yourself some relaxation by sitting back and relaxing as we hop into the video. I hope you'll enjoy. Avatar: The Legend of Percy. Trial by Fire. Written by WardofWinters. Read by Tilir. Chapter 38 of The Ocean's Rage. I jerked violently when my conch shell pin blazed. Percy. Venom spreading fast, his heart stuttering. Andero. I swept up, ignoring my metu, mefwimmed, my papoof jolting in at my action. Triton? Rhodos asked, what are you? I ignored her, sweeping to the door. I had to reach Percy. He was dying. I was nearly out the door when a Poturu rose in front of me, freezing me to the spot. The pearl shield shimmered out and the small figure fell against me. I caught him. Percy. He was so small and pale. His eyes were closed and his chest not moving. My breath hitched. He looked dead. No. His breathing was faint. I could feel it through the pin that he was alive. He was on the verge of death, but still alive. He was still there. Not dead. I could. He looked like Pallas once did, clutched in my arms as she breathed her last. No, not again. His eyelids fluttered. Three. His voice was so weak. I'm here, I whispered. You're okay. My voice shook. You're going to be okay. I've got you. I swallowed as his eyes fluttered shut. Perseus! Metu cried by my side in an instant. Triton, we need to get him to the healer. I clutched him tighter. I could heal him. I was a god and there was little I couldn't heal. He wouldn't die, not like Pallas. I threw my power around him. Heal, Percy. You had to heal. I wouldn't allow anything else. Raman, please. Triton, Metu insisted. Let me take him. We need him to get to a healer now. Let him go? How could I let him? I could heal him. I could do it. There was little that could stop me. Very little that I couldn't heal. I could heal him. I could. There was venom, but I could. My vision was blurry, my breath shaky. He wasn't healing. Why wasn't he healing? Pallas bleeding in my arms, her pearl core that I'd painstakingly made, shattered by Athena's blade. No, I wouldn't. I couldn't. My hands shook. No, I could fix this. I can fix this. I could heal him. A hand landed on my shoulder. Triton, we don't have much. Hierophile faltered. 4 letters, way to tell passage of existence. I just needed them to leave. I was trying to heal him. Time, Rhodos said. Triton, we don't have much time. Didn't they think I knew that? I was trying to heal him. Metu was in front of me. When did he? Triton, he needs a healer now. I clutched Percy, so small and broken. Metu gently reached forward, scooping my little brother out of my arms. So, Amaraman, my little kraken. Percy, he needed me right now. Metu couldn't take him away. I flicked up, Mefu steadying me as Metu swept away. I rushed after him, guards leaping out of the way. Namaka of the Hawaiian waters pausing in a side hallway as she watched us rush past. It only took a few seconds to reach the royal infirmary, but those seconds were precious. He was weaker. He needed to be healed. Where was the Tafahu? What was taking them? Pull yourself together, Pentasikime hissed to me. You can't fall apart right now. I took a breath, then another. Right, I need to hold it together. Percy needed me. I stared at his pale form. He looked so weak and broken. Amer hurried over, murmuring rapidly to herself as she looked over Percy. I hovered closer. Why wasn't the Tafahu fixing him now? I could be trying to heal him while this Vula Tafahu just looks at him. What caused this? Who hurt him? Metu pulled me back. Let the healer work. I snarled, not looking away from Percy. Laying on the bed, so small and weak. His breathing was so faint. The pin told me how much he was weakening. He was barely breathing, fading quickly. I swallowed. He had to survive. He had to. I brought you some tea. Rhodos settled next to me with a taipanu in hand. She offered the sponge drink holder to me. I took it but didn't drink. Percy was still laying on the bed. The healer was mixing more medicine for when he woke up. If he woke up. No, he would. The venom may have been deadly and many might have gone into permanent comas from it, but we gave him the antidote. He'd be okay. He would. Pontus, he looked so small, so delicate. He seemed like he could break at any moment. He almost died. He came so close. How's he doing? Rhodos asked softly. I swallowed, bringing the taipanu to my lips to suck out some of the tea. He'll be okay, I whispered. My hands were shaking still. That's good. Rhodos grew serious. Do we know who did this? I shook my head as a flash of rage made my jaw clench. Only that he somehow came across a pit scorpion. And wasn't that terrifying? Pit scorpions were only found in the depths of Tartarus, and yet somehow my brother found one. Those things are practically formed of Tartarus power and poison. They could make even an immortal ill. The only reason Percy survived to get treatment was his skill with purification magic. It made him resistant enough to survive an extra minute. He'd be out of it for a few more hours, assuming the antidote took properly. And it did. It had to. After all, he'd be on bed rest for a few days. We'd have to wait for him to wake up to learn what happened. We had to wait to learn who summoned the pit scorpion, to learn who I was going to kill. I fingered the taipanu. He was obviously not safe on land. I wouldn't let him go back. Metua sent a Feparu to speak to Dionysus and Chiron, Rhodos said, and to reprieve Perseus' things. Percy, I corrected. She sighed. Right, of course. It was good that Metu sent one of my messengers. I should have done that, but I couldn't leave Percy's side. He needed me. He'd stay down here from now on. He could attend one of the undersea camps instead. There was one here in Atlantis, or well, at the edge of the city. He'd be safe down here, where I could keep an eye on him. And I'd make sure the one that harmed him could never touch him again. Percy's point of view. The world rushed past, my eyes opened. Darkness surrounding me. I was at the pit. Whispers surrounding me, but I couldn't see right, couldn't speak. Where? What? Did he say something? More speaking, but I couldn't understand it. He tried to have me killed. Did he? Yeah, Luke said. Well, Luke didn't say that he had me killed, but Luke tried to kill me under his orders. Where was I again? Whispers faded and I felt water curling around me. Familiar pressure pressing down. Hands cupped my cheek. I blinked. Okeanos Ari's face briefly swam in my gaze. His eyes narrowed, his lips moved. Why couldn't I hear it right? What did he say? What? I croaked. I fell away. Shadow swam around me. A sharp voice spoke in whispers like silk. I stared at the spiral of winds and clouds. A figure bent beneath it. I tumbled through the ground, sharp teeth flashing, snarls echoing. I stared at a girl, Talia, the daughter of Zeus, her stormy blue eyes locked with mine. You have to live, she said, the first thing I could hear clearly. They need you. I spun around when the dream twisted and fell apart, staring at a girl with deep brown eyes and brown hair with a silver circlet resting in it. I knew her presence. How did I know it? I gasped when a new figure was in front of me, the previous one melting away, her eyes a spiral of 1,000 colors, shifting constantly along with her features. There was a faint worry before I was falling away again. Ghosts surrounded me, one in particular standing out, green eyes bright as mine, as Triton's. Thank you. I blinked at the fire blazing in front of me, heat and something old. Someone slumbered. I finally caught my breath in my cabin, a man standing there. He wore the armband of Triton's Feparuf. He must have been one of my brother's messengers. Lord D was standing near the curtain that led to the exit area. Don't mess up the cabin, he said in a bored tone. I'm not dealing with my uncle being angry because you screwed up. The Feparu sent Lord D an annoyed look. I know how to do my job, Dionysusstane. Lord D hummed, his gaze shifting around the room as the Feparu gathered my things and carefully packed it all up. Lord D's eyes locked on me. He seemed to be studying me. Rest. Everything went black. I gasped when the groan, and then groaned when I tried to sit up. My head was pounding and my mouth felt like it'd been microwaved with tinfoil. I opened my eyes slowly, the room dimly lit with Ponisi pearls. Suha Amagaman, said a voice beside me. I blinked, turning my head. Triton. He looked relieved. Oh, thank Pontus. I was so worried. He gently brushed my hair back. Shh. Here, let me. He grabbed a taipanu and brought it to my lips. Drink some. I sucked out some of the liquid. It tasted faintly sweet. How are you feeling? He asked. A headache, I croaked. Mouth. Yuck. His lips twitched. Let me call Tafahu. She was sending for someone to retrieve some Posidonia berries. She ran out up here. His tail flicked and he was away, speaking to someone at the door. I tried to lift my arm, but it felt so weak. I could barely move it. Triton shook my hand. Triton took my hand. Oh, he was back. Do you know what had happened? I struggled to pull my thoughts together. They were just as jumbled as my dreams seemed to be. I could only remember snippets. I furrowed my brow. I was going to the forest with Luke and... Oh, right. L- Luke, I croaked. He was the thief. Triton frowned. Who's Luke? I licked my lips and started to speak again, but Triton raised a hand. Have some more ufate pafu, he said, shoving the taipanu with the sweet water to my lips again. I sucked more of the water out. It soothed my throat. I swallowed and took a breath. Luke, he's the head counselor of the Hermes cabin. Triton gave me more sweet water, and I licked my lips and continued. He summoned a pet scorpion, said he was saving his lord. Triton frowned. Did he say who his lord is? I tried to think. His lord was obviously my Metani, Kronos, but did Luke say that? I couldn't remember. I don't remember. I swallowed hard. But I think it was Kronos, Tito. Mm, talking hurt. Triton nodded slowly, his eyes gleaming. Well, I'll send my messengers out, if this Luke gets near water. I coughed and nodded. Right. Now then, he took my hand again. Metua sent one of my Faparuf to retrieve your things, and your room is set up. Once the Tafahu clears you, you'll move into your room. I'll speak with father. I'm not decided on if you'll attend Atlantis Academy or just have private tutors at the palace, but I frowned. What? Triton blinked. Well, obviously the land isn't safe. You'll be staying here. I blinked, slowly processing. Ta. I mean, that would be amazing, but what about my mom? What about the Demeter and Aphrodite cabins? I wanted to still see them. Ah, good, you're awake. A mermaid who flicked in, her armbands blue stones with bronze sea urchins gleaming around them, denoted her as a healer. A master one at that. Now then, let's look you over. How are you feeling, Percy? Horrible, I croaked. She gave me a wry smile. I'd say you would. Pit scorpion venom is not commonly seen. Thankfully, I was working with different antidotes just the other day for a lesson for my apprentice and demonstrated it to him. Otherwise, well, let's not go into that. She pulled out a tube sponge thingy. It looked like the stethoscope thing doctors use. Breathe in and out. She pressed the end to my chest, listening carefully. She picked up my hand, the one Triton hadn't been holding, and studied my palm. You'll have a scar, she said. Triton's hand tightened on mine. And it will probably be stiff for a few weeks. We'll have some physical therapy for you to regain full use of your hand. I nodded. You'll need to be careful and rest a lot for the next little while. You'll also need your vaccinations. She consulted the kelp paper in her hand. You never got your scale rot vaccinations, and that one is very important. Plus your coral fever one. There's a new strain that was bad over the last pamuo. You'll also need a shrimp pox vaccine. We can't really give you any others. They mix badly when given all at once. I nodded. I guessed it was like a flu shot. We'll have to give them to you later. In a few months. I'll make a list for Poseidon Ore. Oh, and your immune system will be weak for a while due to the pit scorpion venom. You'll need to stay away from anyone sick until you've recovered. Triton nodded. I'll take care of that. Now then, you need more sleep. Don't keep him up, Triton Riaya. She sent Triton a scolding look. We'll go over your physical therapy and vaccines and other details later. Triton dipped his head. Rest, Percy. We'll speak more when you feel better. I guess I'll trust. Triton pulled the blanket up over me, pressing a kiss to my forehead. My poor, he murmured. I had a dreamless sleep that time, waking up some time later. When I turned my head, it wasn't Triton by my bed, but my Metua. He had an iris message open, Zeus on the other side. Poseidon noticed me looking at him and sighed. Fine, stand by your opinion, brother. When things go wrong, you know you had the chance to stop it. He slashed his hand through the rainbow and turned to me. I jolted, starting to sit up, but Metua waved his hand, his expression softening. How are you feeling, Perseus? I took a moment to consider. My head was hurting a lot less, and while I still felt weak, I thought I could actually move. Better? Poseidon smiled. I'm glad. You gave us quite the scare. I'm sorry, I murmured. He shook his head. It's all right. Triton told me what you said about this Luke. His gaze grew serious. This isn't good news. I tried to speak to Zeus about the new information, but he's insisting that it's simply the boy rebelling and unconnected to our father. I winced. This boy, Metua murmured, his gaze dark. We will find him and ensure he pays for his crimes. I don't take kindly to those that harm my children. I swallowed, remembering the many myths I'd read of Poseidon avenging his kids. Um, so, I started coughing softly. Here. He handed me a taipanu like Teton had. Drink. I sipped from it, able to hold it with my own hands now. Does the camp know? I asked finally. Not yet. We'll send a messenger to give them the news shortly. Right now, our priority is you. I shifted. Triton said I was staying in the sea? Metua studied me. We would like that. And Triton has even come up with ways that could be possible. He paused for a moment. Will you stay? I chewed my lip, staring at the taipanu in my hand. I would like to go back to land. Poseidon raised an eyebrow, not commenting. I don't want to leave my mom or my friends. I would still love to visit. I rushed to reassure, but I don't. I sucked a little more sweet water from the taipanu before continuing in a whisper. I don't want to leave them all behind. Mitua hummed. I see. Well, that is your choice. We have other arrangements to make them. I peered up at him in confusion. Other arrangements? He nodded. Your tutors, for one. I kept you from your proper education to keep you hidden, but there's no point to do that anymore. You'll need a tutor for etiquette, laws, history, and all the other subjects you should have been taught. Plus, you'll need training in fighting. He frowned. There are two camps I would go with. I think Atlantis camp would be best, closest to the city. You mean the undersea camps? That work like Camp Half-Blood? Metua nodded. Yes, like that. Perhaps you can come on weekends, maybe during breaks as well. Can I still go to Camp Half-Blood? He studied me for a long moment. During the summer, but not the school year. They don't allow outside tutors. I've had that fight with them before. We will have to do something about it, security though. I relaxed. I was glad. Okay. I could go to the school Mom planned them. That would work. Metua hummed. We'll work out the details later. For now, rest and recover. We have a lot to do before you go home. He brushed my hair back, his green eyes studying me intently. I'm glad you're all right. It took 3 days for me to be released by the healer, and only then with strict orders to be careful. She started me on physical therapy for my hand, along with general body physical therapy to make up for my weakened state from the venom and bed rest. The stretches were hard and a bit painful, but I could move my hand a bit better after a few days of them. Triton was with me almost constantly, helping me up when I was finally cleared. He wasn't happy that I was going back on land. We fought about it. He was really worried. I was upset that I upset him, but I was glad that he cared so much. I didn't think he was just going to let it go, though. He had some sort of plan. I blinked as we entered the room, Triton having led me to it from the infirmary. Wow! The walls were a deep coral blue, Ponisi and Manisi pearls scattered across the walls and ceilings. There was a bed with a very soft-looking blanket set on it, a box and my bag set on top of it. There was a desk that held neatly stacked kelp paper and strips of kelp to braid. The wall had ipone attached, and a nook on the wall held a handful of OVV to use on the board. One wall was completely sea glass, shimmering a dozen different shades that tinted the water beyond. It's enchanted, Triton said, so that no one can look in, but you can look out. I nodded, moving over to it. Wow, it looked out It looked out over some undersea gardens with amazing corals and fish and a variety of undersea plants. That's the royal garden. Triton swam next to me. I'll show you around it later. Is this my room? I asked. Yes. Is it satisfactory? I looked around, noting the dresser and the tables by my bed, the mirror and vanity area against one wall, and the seating area in one corner. It's amazing. He relaxed. Good. Now, if you could get cleaned up, then we'll go meet with the rest of the family. We need to talk about how things will work out when you're back on land and how the announcement will go about who. I blinked. Announcement? He shook his head. We'll tell you later. I nodded as Triton tucked a strand of my hair back. He studied me for a long moment. Don't take too long. There are tail and hairbrushes in the vanity, and fresh clothes in the dresser. You can transform into your mer form if you'd prefer. I nodded. Thank you. He nodded and swam out, letting the shimmery kelp curtains cover my door once more. I fingered my bracelet, sparkly charm shining as its power washed over me and replaced my legs with two tails. I slowly stretched, wincing at the stiffness. First to go clean up. Triton was leading me to where Metua and the others would be waiting. I licked my lips. Well, this would be something. So you don't know where the one who tried to kill him is? I heard a voice snap. They're nowhere in the ocean, and unfortunately I have very little power on land, said a voice I recognized as Metuano. This is a crime for it to happen, and a great shame for us to not be able to punish the perpetrator, said another unfamiliar voice. I could just unleash a storm, chirped another new voice. That could solve the problem. Kim, no! We will make this Luke pay for what he's done, said a voice firmly. Your Ufanto child is a child of the sea, and we will not allow this insult to go unpunished. Well, the voice was cut off as we entered the sitting room. Perseus, Metua said, rising. I'm glad you could join us. Yes, another said cheerfully. Only about 12 years late. Better late than never. Triton started. I'm Kimopolea, your older sister. She swam over, ignoring Triton's glare. Aren't you so small? I flushed, but straightened and made the proper motion of respect. I'm Percy Jackson, I stated. It's nice to meet you, Kimopolea Abba. She grinned. Oh, I like you. Triton sighed. You don't need to add the Abba. She'll just be insufferable about it. We're all family here. She huffed. Triton is a spoilsport. Call me Kimopolea Abba all you want. Ignore her, Triton said. That's Kim, your annoying older sister, goddess of the stormy seas. Triton's just jealous I'm more stylish than him, she insisted. Anyways, Triton interrupted. Over there is Rhodos. She's the goddess of the island roads. Triton pointed to one of the four mermaids still sitting. She had bright blue hair and green eyes. Her tail was a blend of yellow and bright turquoise and had pretty flowy side fins. She was studying me curiously, checking me over with a small frown. Kimopolea interrupted. And that's Herophile! She pointed to a mermaid with bright red hair and deep green eyes who was all but vibrating in her seat. She's an oracle and has been super excited to meet you. I'm Pentasekime, one of the other mermaids who had dark blue skin and deep red hair said. Her two red tails flicked as she studied me, her gaze sharp. Goddess of the deep seas. It's nice to meet you at last, Perseus. It's nice to meet you too, I said, twisting my hand into the proper motion of respect. Triton made a motion to the final mermaid, and this is our Mevu, your Mevuta Amphitrite. Kimopolea interrupted as she motioned to the final mermaid, her armband making her status as the queen very clear. Her hair was the same shade of blue as Okeanos Aris, and her tail looked very similar to Tetisram, but with more green. Her gaze was cold and unimpressed. Goddess of the sea, fish, and shellfish, which I think you already know. Right, proper respect. I could do proper respect. Maie my hope opu amphitraitinai, I said as I folded my pointer and middle finger down, putting my ring finger straight out and pointing my pinky and thumb in the proper motion of respect for a queen. She studied me, her expression not softening as she replied, I so pu. Metua sighed. Thank you for the introduction, Triton. Kim. You're welcome. Now then, Perseus, great new little brother. Kim, Triton warned. Have you ever wanted to learn how to make storms? Metua sighed. Later, Kimopolea. She rolled her eyes. They never let me teach the kids anything fun. Kim, Triton interrupted. We still have things to cover before Okeanos Ari and Tetisran get here. I jolted. Okeanos Ari and Tetisran are coming? Metua winced. Yes, somehow they found out about your injury. They were already coming for the announcement of you, but they decided to come sooner with the news of your injury. I nodded, letting Triton guide me to a seat for the talk. I'm Herophile, it's so nice to... She faltered. 4 letters to encounter for the first time? Meet? Triton offered. She beamed. Meet you! Herophile is an oracle, Triton said calmly. She gives her prophecies in the form of word puzzles, but also has trouble in casual talk as well because of it. What do you want to go on a 8 letters trip for relaxation? Vacation? Kimopolea chirped. Herophile, we've talked about this, Amphitrite Nai said. Herophile pouted. Now then, Metua interrupted. We need to explain how the announcement will go and the things that will happen after. Thetis' point of view. I swam back and forth impatiently. Where were they? What's taking so long? The child was hurt, was nearly dead when Okeanos saw him Hioi Pai Hok. He really needed to get control of his dream swimming. Doing it in that state could have allowed anyone with any skill to catch his mind and hold it prisoner. Tyreon was sitting calmly on one of the tepatehe. He seemed completely calm, but I could see the tenseness in how his tails were swishing. The way his expression was slightly too calm. He was just as anxious as I am, and just as angry about the one who dared to harm Percy. The boy was just a child! Not only that, but he was a child born of the sea. To attack him was a grievous crime. I let out a breath, turning angrily. I needed to know who was responsible. The second they got near a river or lake, I'd make them regret hurting Percy Toe. I stopped my finning when I felt Poseidon's presence draw near. His rubbing salt feel growing stronger by the moment. Poseidon swished into the room with Percy Toe following after him, and oh, how cute! He had tails now. They were very pretty. He hesitated at the entrance, staring at us wide-eyed. I swept forward at once. He looked so small and pale. I ignored Poseidon, stiffening as I cupped Percy's cheek. Oh, Percy Toe, you look ill. What happened to you? How did you get injured? Okeanos drifted up behind me. How are you feeling, Percy? His tail flicked. I'm okay. Feeling a lot better, and, someone from the camp betrayed us to Kronos Tito. Set a pit scorpion on me. On one hand, it was adorable that he called Kronos Grandpa Kronos. On the other hand, a scorpion sent that? Okeanos pursed his lips. A grave event, indeed. I took a deep breath and pulled my power in when I noticed Percy Toe's flinch. I could react later when he wasn't around. You seem to be recovering, I said calmly. That's good. I glanced at Okeanos, who'd locked eyes with Poseidon. His fingers curled around my wrist for a moment, tapping lightly. Ah, right, they'd want to talk privately. Okeanos could fill me in later. I'd take Percy someplace soothing. Have you seen the gardens yet? I asked gently. He glanced at Poseidon, who patted his head with a nod. I haven't seen them yet. Then we'll see them together. Come, there are some lovely corals here. I took his hand and guided him out. I'd been to this palace many times. Every 100 years or so we had dinners, more often in more recent years due to the pollution worsening. It made it simple to lead the way through the halls towards the gardens. I wondered if Poseidon would be keeping Percy Toe here to ensure his safety after this latest disaster. What would he be doing during the year? Did land children have schooling? I turned to Percy. Do you have plans for the year? He licked his lips. I'll be going to land school. Metua said that he's arranging tutors and time in the Atlantis camp for my sea education. I nodded. How nice! He'd be in the ocean part of the time at least. You'll have to visit us when you're in the sea. I'll try, he offered a bit nervously. We swam in silence for a time, reaching the gardens. Wow, Percy whispered. I smiled. They're lovely, aren't they? He nodded, his eyes wide as he looked around in fascination. Do you want to see the coral we gifted Poseidon and Amphitrite when they got married? Yes! I laughed, guiding Percy over to the lovely spiraling blue and green and pink coral. It seemed to sparkle in the light of the Manisi pearls. There was a bench next to it that I settled on, motioning for Percy to sit with me as we could admire the gardens and relax. It's really pretty, he said. Thank you, I made it myself. I smiled down at him, adjusting his necklace a bit. It was made far too light material for underwater. That was going to get in his face constantly. Why did you two come? Percy asked suddenly. I hummed. He seemed rather confused by our concern for him. Any others in the sea would understand, but he wasn't raised in the sea. Of course, most sea children wouldn't warrant our personal attention. Simply one of our investigators, but he was an Ipri. I need you to understand, Percy Toe. Children are treasured. I understand on land they care for the children, but in the sea, to attack anyone unprovoked is a crime. To attack a child, provoked or unprovoked, is a grievous crime. He blinked at me in confusion. I took a breath and forced my anger at the one who dared to harm him aside. Children are our future, I explained gently. We bring the children into the world, and thus it is our responsibility to protect them. You didn't ask to exist. That is on us. And so we must do everything we can to protect the child until they can protect themselves. Oh. It's one of the few things that all the seas agree on. Children are precious, and none would harm a child, or none with any value as a mare. He nodded slowly. I think I understand, but it wasn't someone from the sea that hurt me? I shook my head. That changes nothing. You are of the sea. You are a child, and you were grievously hurt. It didn't matter who harmed those of the sea. Of any water source, really. Children are not to be harmed. I looked down on him with a serious expression. The sea, as a whole, will not react well to this. The one who hurt you will feel our wrath. That is a promise. Poseidon's point of view. It appears you're actually taking care of your son, Okeanos mused. An improvement. I bit back the retort I wanted to give. Now was not the time. The one who attacked him is named Luke Castellan, from what I've learned, I said instead. Unfortunately, he is near no waters I rule over. If he was, he'd be dead already. Okeanos nodded. Thetis and I will keep an eye out. He will not find sanctuary in any body of water. I could see the anger in him. He was just as protective of his children as I was. Protective of sea children in general, really. Most of the sea wouldn't allow a child to be harmed. The exceptions were rare, though they existed, and that was why I hate Perseus so fiercely. Okeanos wouldn't let this Luke get away with his crimes. He made a grave mistake in targeting my son. There are few quicker ways to gain my enmity. Okeanos' lips twitched. It was a cold expression. Indeed. In this, you and I are in agreement. I will still be adopting Percy, though. My eye twitched. I'd planned the traitorous half-blood's death later. He was nowhere that I can touch right now. For now. I stared at Okeanos. The sea will recognize him at the announcement. You cannot stop it. He smirked. We'll see about that, won't we? And that is it for today. How about before we go into the outro of this first part of the series, into the translation of the many Halmaharan words as well as the suffixes? There are no special things otherwise. We have the Halmaharan way of spelling Percy Jackson, which is Percy Jackson, as there are neither a J nor a C letter in the alphabet. We have Avero for crap or shit. We have Metu for dad, Mefu for mom, Papoof for siblings, Poturu for pearl shield, Soha Amraman, my little kraken, Tafahu, meaning healer. Fla Tafahu is a dumbass healer. Okay there, Triton. We have Taipanu, who are sponge cups in order to drink underwater, which is pretty smart. We have Feparu, meaning messenger. Feparuf for the plural of messenger. We have Ponisi pearls, which are night pearls, and Manisi pearls for day pearls for different lighting settings. Ufate Pafu is a sweet water. Hamuo is the cold season. Metani meaning grandpa. Maif Pohur meaning good night. Ipone for a slate board. Ofivi for coral markers, the hard to remove chalks made of coral. We have Metuano for fathers. Ufanto for bastard, in relations to being the child of an unmarried person or between an unmarried couple. Mefuta for stepmother, then Maye Maif Hoop Opu Amphitrite, meaning it's an honor to meet you, High Queen Amphitrite. Isa Opu and you being the respectful way of saying same. Hioi Pai. I'm sorry, that word is so hard. Hioi Pihai Hok, meaning dream swimming. Tyrion for my dearest, and Tepa Tehe for kelp seeds. The suffixes used today were Ari for old king, Ram for old queen, Ore and Nai for current king and queen, Tane as a term of respect for a masculine presenting person, Tito for grandpa, Aya for prince, Reaya for crown prince, Ava for princess, Renai for the current high queen, and Tou for a masculine presenting young one. Okay, now I can nerd out because holy fiddlesticks! The next part, oh, you will love this. There is going to be another part of the series, and the next one will be called Lessons in Water. Oh, I am so excited to do that. I am so excited for how the Sea of Monsters will go, and of course, how to see Who will Okeanos side with this time? Maybe we'll find it out this time. Next time, whoever knows, maybe in the third part. But I will not freak out too much about it. Please, if you like this fanfiction, click the link in the description and give WardofWinters all the kudos they deserve. Go click on the links that will, well, follow the links to their Discord and their Tumblr to give them all the support, as they have put a lot of work into this fanfiction. And if you like my content, why don't you smash that like button in the face and push that subscribe button to stay up to date? With that, I hope you had enough hydration, snackation, and relaxation as I let you go for tonight. Bye-bye, my lovelies, and see you around.